And we are back. Still the same day for me, but not for you. Anyway, I'm still a little bit mad that she's still not told him about her past, about like her guilt, and now about the harassment. Like, it's like, yeah, whatever. Let's just start. This is commentary. I am mad. And this is, and we're playing Tailor Tales. And I wanted to say tonight, but I guess it doesn't matter when you watch it. Anyway, Gray's Root, chapter 12, let's go. I feel a little anxious as I wait for Gray to show up. Okay. Hey, got your message. I turn at the sound of Gray's voice, finding him entering my workroom, phone in hand.
Huh?
Everything okay? Oh yeah, everything's good, I answer, a little flustered by his presence. When I had messaged him asking if he could meet me when he was free, I didn't expect him to show up so soon. Oh, don't you have a game of Dragon Den going on downstairs? I ask, and he shrugs, tucking his phone into his back pocket. And they don't miss me. Somebody else took over as Den Master, the Den Master role, he said with a grin. Yeah, right.
Oh.
So, what do you need? I was wondering if you'd be willing to lend your body to me. Don't say it like that. Let me guess. I will like use him as a mannequin for the Romeo attire. Right? Right, of course. But like, dude, don't say it like that! Okay. Be serious. I was wondering if you'd be willing to lend your body to me. I answer as I gather some of the supplies together that I usually use for fittings. My body is all yours, Ary. In the workroom, huh? He raises his eyebrows at me suggestively.
Hey.
Kinky. Okay, you know what? This MC is so stupid and so oblivious to everything. You know what? Where else would we do it? I ask, knowing exactly what kind of game we're playing, though my motives are entirely innocent. Any way you want. Gray smirks as he steps closer. Your bedroom, kitchen, shower. I like where this is going. I feign a thoughtful look, wrinkling my nose for good measure. Well, the workroom does seem best. I have my tape measure, my fabric scissors, and my pins all here.
Huh?
Tape measure and pins. Not what I usually use, but I can work with them. Really? He grabs my tape measure from the work table and pulls it tight, as though testing its strength. He wants to use them as like cuffs and like bondage stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I'll be the one working with them, since I'm taking your measurements and all. I say innocently, giving him a small smile as I take the items from his hands.
Huh?
Measurements, he repeats. I need help with some costumes I'm working on. What did you think it meant? You know exactly what I thought it meant, he says with a growl before his thighs. So, what do you really need me to do? Wait, was he really just ready for that? Like, for real? Or like, is this just talk? And nothing behind it? But I'm confused. What do you really go to town right here, right now? Anyway, stand over there, please, I say, directing him closer to my work table, where I'll have easy access to my supplies. Also, as a side note, I mean, like, I should already have mannequins for that, right? I did a lot of clothes. Why do I need someone to help me now? For sizes. And also, wouldn't the actor be better? Whatever. We just want to get handsy with Gray. Yeah. You need to take off your shirt. Don't say a word, I add when he opens his mouth, no doubt to make another flirtatious joke. He clams his lips tight together and does as asked, while I busy myself getting the fabric ready. Oh, he's so docile today. When I turn back again, finding him standing bare-chested in front of me, it takes me more off guard than I expected. Trying to act professional as I work, I have him slip the fabric I'm currently using over his head. It's not like I haven't seen him shirtless before, though the only other time I have, he was unfortunately suffering from a nasty case of hives. Hello? What are those? Gray asks as I move in with my tray of pins, sounding slightly panicked. You better not be bringing those needles anywhere near me. Oh, relax. I shush him softly. You'd said you'd help me, didn't you? Gray huffs a sigh, his shoulders slumping unhelpfully. This is definitely not what I had in mind when you said you wanted to use my body, he says drearily. Tell me again why you can't use one of my mannequins for this? I prompt him to straighten up and shake my head at him. The client's dimensions are bigger than the mannequins I have. You're about the same size, so it works out perfectly. Of course. Well, I hate needles. He pouts, and I try my best to hide my smile. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute, and he's so... Look at this guy. I also don't like needles, so I can understand. You literally have a metal bar going through your eyebrow. And they're pins, not needles. They won't stab you if you stand still. Gray glances down at the deconstructed tunic I'm currently pinning in place around his top half, giving it a reproachful look. I finish the rest of the work in silence, and thankfully Gray is as still as a statue, probably to avoid being panicked by any of the pins. Pricked, yeah, oh my god. Though I don't miss the way his forehead creases more and more as time goes by. What's up with you, Grumpy? I say with a small laugh, and his face finally softens. I'm not grumpy, I'm just thinking about things, that's all. He's probably like, I'm standing here, topless, and she doesn't react at all. Like, am I really not attractive to her? That's probably what he's thinking right now, like, she rebuffed me every time. Oh, I finished putting the last pin in place and step back from him. Do you want to talk about it? Not really, he says and shakes his head. I mean, not to you. I mean, it could be that she just enjoys the banter, right? She doesn't mean it, and that's probably what he thinks. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff that sounds about right. I don't mean to pout. I don't mean to pout at being brushed off so easily, but it happens anyway. And when he notices, he lets out a breath of a laugh. I mean, no, thank you. He twirls and strands of my hair around his finger before letting it go and gently flicking the top of my nose. But thanks for the offer. That's more like it, I say with a giggle, then sweat his hand away. I help him slip the tunic over his head, trying my best to keep my eyes on the garment and not the naked torso in front of me. You can look a little bit, like he's inviting you to, basically. Then I set the costume down on my work table, ready to be sewn together in the morning. Thank you again for helping me out. You can put your shirt back on, I say. What if he doesn't want to? Dang it! I don't need to say it twice. Gray grabs his shirt and tosses it over his head. And sorry to keep you from your game. His blonde head of hair pops out from the collar of his shirt as he pulls it down, followed by a small smile. And Jed's got it covered. No big deal. Though I'd better head down if I want to catch the end of it. I busy myself as he leaves, organizing the rest of my work for the morning before flipping off the workroom lights and heading up to my apartment. Okay. The air is stuffy when I enter, and the evening is nice, so I open the door to the balcony and let the evening breeze roll through the living room and freshen the place up. Flipping on the TV, I let it play in the background while I head to the kitchen and put something together for dinner. After eating and washing up, I sit back in front of the TV and tuck my feet up on the sofa, intending to unwind a little before bed. Until a strange sound captures my attention. What? Through the open balcony doors, I hear noises down in the alley below, a kind of shuffling and then the jiggling of the back door handle. She's gonna listen to something she shouldn't know. Pushing myself up from the sofa slowly, I creep out to the balcony and peer over the railing, straining to see through the dim light. A figure in the alley below catches my attention. "Who's there?" I call out, only to be met with total silence. I wait a minute longer for a response, searching for the figure through the dark, and wondering if it was only my imagination. Deciding that I should double-check, I leave my apartment, head down the stairs, checking my phone as I go, and wonder if Gray has locked himself out. I don't think so. Did you close the balcony door? Please close the balcony door. Now I'm getting anxious. Approaching the back door slowly, I hear the handle jiggle a few more times before going silent. I leave the light off and keep my footsteps light. There's something strange about the situation. Something that makes my hair stand up on the end. And I get the distinct feeling that it's not Gray behind that door at all. Luckily, I know how to fight. Tiptoeing closer, I reach out a hand towards the handle, stopping an inch shy of the cool metal. Suddenly, a thundering crash echoes through as something rams against the door, and I yelp and jump backwards, half expecting it to fly open right in front of me. The sound of footsteps sprinting up the stairs alerts me to Gray's presence, and I'm silently thankful that I didn't unknowingly let in whoever is outside. What the hell was that? Gray asked breathlessly, putting himself between me and the door. Oh, he's such a nice guy. There's someone out in the alley, I say, and for the first time I realize my hands are shaking. Go upstairs and lock the door behind you, he orders as he strides towards the back door, and I shake my head firmly and follow him. I'm coming with you. Like, 2 against 1 is way better. Also, I'm not gonna let you get stabbed by Ivan. I'm coming with you, I insist as I step up to his side, balling my hands into fists to keep them still. Is that so? He throws a look at me, and I half expect he'd been smirking in the circumstances. Wait, I half expect he would be smirking if the circumstances were different. I mean, he is. When I meet his eyes, he gives me the kind of smile that I've never seen before, and my breath hitches in my throat. We have no idea who's on the other side of the door, he says firmly. I can't let you come with me. But I know you can handle yourself, Ary. He cuts me off with a hand on my arm, squeezing affectionately. How do you squeeze affectionately? Whatever. But just let me do it this time, okay? One day, I'll prove to you that I'm not just some damsel in distress. I grumble beneath my breath, loud enough for him to hear. I don't doubt it, he says with a half smile. For now, please just wait here, okay? With a nod, I do as he says, slowly stepping back towards the stairs while he reaches the door handle in front of him. He twists the handle out and steps outside, turning his head left, then right. He then pulls the door closed and disappears into the darkness of the alley. What if that guy got to the balcony? If I go back up there, he's gonna be there, right? And Gray's gonna be outside. I wait where I am, my nerves going haywire as I strain my ears for any sound of movement and hear nothing for the longest time. I begin to worry that something might have happened to him. However, whoever is outside could possibly just be drunk who stumbled into the wrong alley. Yeah, you wish. That's why he was suddenly silent. But what if it's not? What if it's something more sinister than all that? My thoughts drift to Ivan, and how he's been hanging around more and more these past few days, looking at me in all the wrong ways. Eventually, when it seems that Gray has been gone for far too long, I decide that I should go and make sure that he's alright. Just as I start heading towards the door, it opens again, and I startle at a sudden entrance. Relief floods through me as I assume Gray's familiar head of blonde hair, and after locking... Relief floods through me at seeing Gray's familiar head of blonde hair, and after locking the door behind him, he comes over to me, his eyes holding a look of worry. Everything okay in here? He asks hurriedly, and I nod in reply. We should go upstairs together. There's someone waiting for me, I can just feel it. He brushes past me and heads into the boutique, striding right up to the front door, where he peers out the window and then double-checks the lock. What are you doing? I ask as I follow him, perplexed by his strange behavior. Making sure everything's locked up. He then walks out. Like, this is not just some board game group. Dude, like, he has enemies, and he should tell me about that. Then he walks back out of the boutique. I hurry up and follow him. I put a hand on his arm to slow him down. Gray, you're freaking me out, I say quietly, wondering what the hell has gotten into him. He lets out a sigh and gives me an apologetic look. I'm sorry, he says, voice softening as he puts his hand over mine. My gaze follows the gesture and my eyes widen. Wait. What? Is there something on his hands? What happened to your hands? I gasp at the sight of his bloody knuckles, and he seems to notice them for the first time. He swears quietly beneath his breath as he drops his hands to his sides. It's nothing, he says quietly, and my red eyes narrow on him. You don't have to lie to me. He looks at me and exhales sharply, his shoulders slumping in defeat. There was someone out there, he admits, but I managed to scare him off. You don't have to worry. Who was it? Just some random lowlife hanging around in the alley. He rubs the back of his neck, avoiding my eyes. Probably looking for a store to break into to make some quick cash. He has a strange look on his face, and for a moment I get the impression that he's lying to me. He definitely is. Quickly dismissing the thought, I tell myself he wouldn't do that right now, but the concern on my face must still show. I mean, he cannot tell you the full truth. There was somebody. He told you half of it, right? I'm worried he could come back, Gray says with a glance towards the back door. I take care of it if he does, I assure him. I can't stay here tonight, he says suddenly, catching me off guard. To make sure you're not alone in that case. My mouth opens and closes without making a sound. I may be tough, but I still have to admit to myself that I'd feel much safer if Gray stayed. Are you sure? I finally managed to say. I mean, you don't have to. I'm sure, he said with a growing smile, tapping a finger gently beneath my chin to ease the frown. I mean, he was probably worried that you would send him away, right? He was like, oh, what do I do? I can just hang out in the basement. It's no big deal. Well, now you're being ridiculous. I rest my hands on my hips as I stare at him. I have a perfectly nice guest room you can use. Something glints in his eye, and I have an inkling about what he's going to say before he actually speaks. Are you finally inviting me up to your place? He asks, a smug grin tilting his lips. Only if you promise to behave yourself. I meet his grin with one of my own, holding my ground against him. He takes a step forward and stares down at me, his hair falling into his face. I never do, especially not around you. My face grows warm beneath his constant stare. He's playing with me, and I know it. He always is. Unfortunately, this time I have to be the one to break first, still feeling uncomfortable being down here in the dark after someone had been caught lurking around in the alley outside. I step backwards towards the stairs before turning, waving a hand for him to follow. Come on, let's go. Wait, what's with his party down there, or was it already wrapping up? I'm confused. We head up to my apartment together, and a sudden rush of nervousness twitches my stomach, despite my best attempts to seem calm and collected. The only person who enters my home, apart from me, is usually Sarah. It feels strange to have someone completely new under my roof. Nice place, Gray says as he glances around the living room. Thanks, I trail off when he heads over to the balcony and closes the doors, locking them firmly. He takes in the view before closing the curtains and turning back to me. Do you really think someone could get in here? I asked in disbelief. You can never be too careful. Right. In that case, someone decides to scale the wall. In case someone decides to scale the wall and climb in the window, I say lightly, mostly in an attempt to make myself feel better. Ah, yeah. Don't remind me of that fiasco. A small smile peeks out when he shakes his head at me, and with a shrug, he decides he's right. Better safe than sorry. And with a shrug, I decide he's right. Better safe than sorry. Come into the kitchen, and I'll take a look at your hands. I instruct, leading them down the hallway and into the sink. I instruct, leading him down the hallway and over to the sink. Sorry. Taking a small cloth, I wet it under the tap while he leans back against the counter. When I take one of his hands in mine, gently pressing the cloth to his knuckle. He barely even flinches at the pressure, and it makes me wonder how often he's still getting into scraps these days. Then when the wounds are clear, I notice a few scars here and there scattered over the back of his hands. Do you get into a lot of fights? I asked, trying one of the lines with the tip of my finger. I used to, back in school, he admits, watching the movement. Not so much anymore, only when I have to. I say nothing in response, already knowing this information. I turn away to grab my small first aid kit out of a cupboard. You don't approve? Gray asks, ducking his head to meet my eyes when I step in front of him again. I didn't say that. I say with a small shake of my head as I fish around in the box for supplies. You didn't have to. I keep quiet as I finish dressing the wounds. Why are you making him feel like bad for himself all the time? I'm just saying. Like, we're not here to tame him, right? I keep quiet as I finish dressing his wounds before stashing the first aid kit away again. It's not like I don't approve of fighting. I used to fight plenty back in my school days, and I'm thankful that I know how to, so I'm hardly one to judge. It's the memories that come with the fighting that make me pause. All better? I asked with a nod to his hands, offering a smile to clear some of the tension. Much better, he answers with a grin of his own, and we head back into the living room. Why do I feel like this would be such a good place for a CG? Just saying. Super yacht singles, Gray muses out loud when he notices the show still playing on TV. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Good show. Really? You watch reality TV? I asked with a raised eyebrow. Sure, who doesn't? He sits down on the sofa and grabs the remote, turning the volume up. With an amused smile, I take the seat next to him. It feels strangely comfortable doing something as simple as watching TV with him, and I like the way that feels. Until a familiar pang of guilt hits me, and I realize that without meaning to, I'd taken this new friendship of ours further than I ever should have. Setting into the sofa, I pull up my feet and try not to think about it. For tonight at least, all I'm worrying about is my own safety, and the fact that Gray's presence is keeping me calm. We spent the next few minutes watching the show, laughing and joking about the contestants and the crazy situations they find themselves in. When an ad break comes on, I smile softly to myself and turn to Gray. He seems relaxed, more so than I've ever seen him, and I decide that now might be the perfect time to press my luck with him. Earlier today you said you had something on your mind, I start, watching the way his jaw tightens ever so slowly. Yeah, I remember, he says flatly, the smile fading. I hesitate before asking, not wanting to draw any unwanted attention to the question, but finding the need to know more about what's going on around here pressing on me. Did it have anything to do with Ivan? I ask. Gray snaps his head towards me, mistrust running deep through his stormy eyes. Huh? Why would you bring him up? Because of what happened the other night, I say quickly, slightly taken aback by his reaction. After Dragon, then?
Oh.
Oh, right. He sinks back into the sofa, resting his head against the back of it, pinching the bridge of his nose between his fingers. Partly, I guess. Ivan is known for around town for being a pain in the ass. How long have you known him? I asked, treading lightly. If I can find out more about what Nikki was talking about, maybe I wouldn't feel so suspicious of the two of them hanging out all the time. Since high school, he was the leader of the Riverside High gang, one of our rivals. He tilts his head towards me. In fact, there were three rival gangs in the city, and 3 leaders. I swallow thickly and shift in my seat, determined to keep my eyes on him and not give away the fact that I know we're treading dangerous ground. What happened to the other one? I asked, feigning ignorance. Who knows? I guess she disappeared, he says, and then continues with his own question. How long have you known the Hammer? My breath hitches in my throat at the title, but my confusion at the statement is very real. Who? I ask. Ivan, Greg clarifies. How long have you known him? As long as I've known you, I say, and this time it's the truth. We return to watch the show quietly, the strangeness settling in the air between us. I can't quite tell why Gray has asked me that question. Wait, I think... Wait. Did the Hammer say something? No, the Hammer doesn't remember. Also, I mean, technically he was there on opening day, but Gray was too, so, Anyway. I can't quite tell why Gray had asked me that question. Even though it's far from the truth, as far as he should have been aware, I only met Ivan after opening the boutique. When the show finishes, Gray scratches his arms above his head, looks around the room, his eyes falling onto the bookshelf in the corner. Hey, why don't we play a game? He says as he stands, heading over to check the small selection of board games on the bottom shelf. Ah, there we go. He comes over and lays a box of coffee on the coffee table. Jumble? Really? I whine. Wait, Jumble, really? Jumble is an old game of mine, where we used blocks of letters to spell out different words. The squares on the boards as well as different letters all give points, and the aim is to be the one with the most points before the letters all run out. Oh, come on, it will be fun. Alright, but I have to warn you that I'm pretty good at this game. I tease him as I make a move to join him. He snorts in amusement and makes a face at me. We'll see about that. Taking a seat at either end of the coffee table, we set up a board together and each pick a piece at random to determine who starts. Gray picks a C and gets to go first. After setting our pieces up, on our strands, he starts with the word danger in the middle of the board. I scan my letters and follow with beams over the E, jotting down my score. Now comes lust. Wait. And I give him a look, earning an innocent shrug of his shoulders. Yeah, he's doing this on purpose. He's trying. Danger and lust, okay. The tilt of his lip proves that there's nothing innocent about it at all. You should be happy I didn't use those same letters to spell out another word. I rearrange the letters in my head before realizing what he's talking about. Wait.
Eventually.
Oh boy, oh my god. No. Good that you didn't, yeah. Smothering my smile, I peer at my letters, deciding to jump on board with this new game of his. I bite down my lip as I place my next word, lick, attempting to keep a straight face. Gray's turn is next, and he taps his finger against the top of the table while he concentrates. It doesn't take much longer before he's putting down the word hard above danger in the middle. Scrutinizing my pieces, dude, like hard, really. Last hard. Scrutinizing my pieces, I think I've lost this questionable game already. Until I see my next move. Kink. Placing my word, I look up at Gray with a smile on my lips, feeling proud of myself. He runs a thumb over his bottom lip in thought, staring at his letters silently before his eyes move back to the board. Then he reaches out and rearranges 4 of the existing pieces, creating a new word in the bottom corner. BDSM. I stare at the pieces with a mixture, that grin, with a mixture of emotions battling within me. Confusion, doubt, anticipation. But laced through it all is a dark feeling of intrigue. Gray stays quiet, and I get the impression that he's waiting for me to speak first. When I glance at him, I find his heavy-lidded stare underlined with a subtle wariness. As though scared, he might scare me off completely. Yeah, he doesn't know what to make of you. I'm not sure that's in the rules, I say finally, my chest tightening with the tension hanging between us. His shoulders relax at the sight of my subtle smile, and he clicks his tongue at me.
Huh.
What can I say? I'm a fan of rule breaking. I shake my head at him before I stare at the acronym once more, and another thought pops into my head. The store I saw you and Jed in, I start and then trail off, unsure if I should be having this conversation.
Huh?
The sex store, Gray asks, and his eyebrows dipped in the middle. I nod, deciding I've gone too far to turn back now. You seem to know about the kind of things in there. I think back on the aisles of toys and other accessories, whips, handcuffs, vibrators.
Huh.
Some people get pleasure from those things, he says, and I note the smallest amount of teething in his voice. People like you? Yes, he says with an entirely straight face, gauging my reaction. People like me. I let out a shaky breath, and the air on my skin bringing goosebumps to the surface. Does that make you uncomfortable? No, I don't know much about it. BDSM, I mean. With that, he drags my pieces over and flips them onto the board. I can explain a couple of things if you'd like. It's probably simpler than you think, he says, waiting for me to give him the go-ahead. I nod, and with our game abandoned and all the letters now facing up, he finds what he's looking for and spells out a word on the board in front of me, covering it with its hand. The first thing you have to know is that BDSM can involve plenty of different sexual practices, depending on what you're into. There are just a few of them, he says, before he moves his hand, showing me the first word. Bondage, I say out loud, even though the term is familiar. Ropes and handcuffs, usually, he explains, though some people have all kinds of contraptions they use for fun. He says that last part with a suggestive waggle of his eyebrows, and I bite down my lip to stop a smile. Clearing away the pieces, he picks out a few more, spelling out another word. Dominant, he explains the next term, is what you'd call someone who enjoys taking control. I swallow hard, meeting his unwavering gaze. And then, on the other hand, you have the submissive. They enjoy giving up their power. They enjoy giving power to their dominant partner, even if it's just for a little while. It sounds intense, I admit, still deciding how to feel about it all. Is this really the kind of thing that Gray's into? It can be, but it also can be a lot of fun, he says in return. Oh boy. I mean, is this a question? Like, I mean, I guess it could be scary, but... I suppose I might like it if I tried it, I say, watching his lip tilt at the sides. So, how do you tell if you're dominant or submissive? It all depends on what you'd like. There's also switches, right? I think. It all depends on what you'd like in bed, Gray says, watching me the entire time he speaks. And do you like giving orders? He pauses, and I quickly realize that he's actually asking me the question. When I show no signs of answering, he continues. Any of those could be a sign that you're... any of those could be a sign that you're Dom. A sub might like to be tied up, or spanked, or just be bossed around. They enjoy letting someone else be in control. I think I figured out which one you are, I say without thinking, my body growing warm when Gray chuckles darkly. And which is that? Dominant? He says, and I look him over, wondering if he might be someone I could give control over to. When I realize that it's not exactly a thought I should be having about him, I shake my head to clear it. It seems risky, giving so much power to someone else, I say quickly, trying to bring myself back to his level. He gives me a meaningful look, and for some strange reason, I start to feel more comfortable talking to him about all of this. It's a gradual process, something you start off slow. But no matter what happens, safety is always a priority. Partners establish boundaries and safe words to make sure none of them feel uncomfortable. Consent is pretty important. Safe words? They could be anything. Typically something you wouldn't normally use during sex, like umbrella, for example, to avoid any confusion. If someone says the safe word, then it all stops. I think that quietly deciding it sounds reasonable enough. If I ever were to take an interest in it, that is. Huh? I'm so dumbfounded right now. Before I can ask anything else, a crash sound rings out in the distance, loud enough to make me jump and tear my eyes from him. In an instant, Gray is on his feet, storming towards the window and throwing it open. What is it? I ask as I come up next to him, searching the darkness below. He lets out a soft chuckle, pointing his finger in the direction of a couple of old boxes. Just a couple of cats, see? Following his lead, I spot the felines around down there, hiding in the boxes and jumping out at each other. I smile at the sight, though my heart is still pounding like crazy after everything that's happened tonight. I turn back to the room and look for something to do to calm me down. The jumble pieces are still scattered over the coffee table, and Gray helps me to pack them away before I store the box back on the shelf. He yawns loudly from behind me and drops back down onto the sofa, the mood from earlier completely dissipated, though I know it's for the best. The spare bed is all set up if you want to get some sleep, I suggest, watching him stretch his long legs out in front of him. I'm getting drowsy just thinking, but thinking about someone potentially lurking around outside the building is making it difficult to think of sleep. Why don't you lie down here? He pats his lap. Chuckles softly when I give him an odd look. Only if you feel more comfortable sleeping out here, I don't mind. Gray says with a sleepy smile. Sure, but only because I want to rest my eyes. Aww. When I lay down and get comfortable, my head in his lap, he raises his fingers to comb my hair away from my face. Aww, that's really cute. Okay, I was wondering if he blinks too, but yes, he does. I make a small, content sound at the feeling of his fingers against my scalp and let my heavy eyes flutter closed as he continues to drag them through my hair. Thank you again, Gray, I say quietly, for staying over and for making sure everything is safe around here. You didn't have to. Though my eyes are closed, I feel the warmth of his back and the rumble of his voice when he speaks. I care about what happens around here, you know, and what happens to you. Probably more than you think, he says softly, and I'm well aware of the smile that gently tilts my lips at his words. It amazes me how every single day he manages to make me let down my guard more and more. And as much as I enjoy the feeling of growing closer to him, I'm more afraid of knowing that it won't last. For tonight, at least, I push it away from my mind. I let him run his fingers through my hair, until I grow sleepy and eventually doze off completely. I'll deal with the rest tomorrow. You should just come out and tell him, like, it just gets harder the longer you wait. Anyway, we have to stop here for today, and that was really nice actually. I had wished the CG would be there longer, like that they would cut it a little bit longer, but I guess they fell asleep or something. Which, on that note, we should do too. At least me, not you maybe. It might be in the morning for you. But yeah, we see each other in the next video if you want. Until then, bye!